Hey guys, it's me, Anita Johnson again. And for this segment, I want to talk to you about taking control. Taking control of your finances is so important. So, if you would like to know how money works, I do have a copy of a book that may interest you about how money works. So, let's talk about taking control of your finances. So, many times, a lot of people may ask questions such as, how can I save money for the future when I have so much debt? How much money is enough to retire? Some people don't know what money they need to actually retire. And some even ask the question, what if I start late with my retirement? Because, I'm in um, of a certain age and maybe I'm starting late. Can I still save enough money for retirement? If I die prematurely, what becomes of my family? A lot of people don't like to think about this. This is why a lot of people do not have life insurance because they don't want to think about what is going to happen to my family if I die prematurely. And then lastly, can I ever truly become financially secure? A lot of people don't know whether they can become financially secure. I teach things like this in my financial literacy class. Remind you, I teach 7th and 8th graders. So they're definitely getting just the basics just to prepare them for the personal finance class that they will take when they are in high school. But I definitely also, in a different position, teach this to adults that may need this because it's so important to know that you do not have to be wealthy to actually be financially independent. You don't have to be at a high level job with a big salary in order to become financially dependent. You don't have to receive a large inheritance or win the lottery to become financially independent. You can actually become financially independent by just doing some small things, and that's taking control of your finances. One, you can try to get yourself out of debt, build some investments. And investments does not take a whole lot of money to get started. And then you can get on a path to financial independence. Learn about educating yourself. I said in my first video about financial literacy that we must educate ourselves. I'm definitely educating myself on the things that I need to do personally in my life. And what I want to do is help other people do the same thing. So our first step into actually getting financially independent is to stop depending on other factors in our lives. When I say that, sometimes we let our bills control what we do with our money. Of course, we definitely have to pay bills. I'm not saying do not pay your bills, but take control of some things. And the first thing you can do is pay yourself first. This is something that I had to learn how to do. And I said in my first segment that this is something that was not a habit in my everyday life when it comes time for me to get my paycheck. I was not paying myself first. I was just throwing all my money to bills, and then any little bit I had, I was just like, oh, let me have fun. I got a little bit of money. I can go take myself out to eat. I got a little bit of money here. I can go buy myself something nice. Until it got to a point where if I got clothes to put on for the next day, I'm good. I mean, I would love to go on a shopping spree, but when you learn how to build yourself up, sometimes you may have to not go on a shopping spree. Okay, so you taking control of your finances. So one of the things that I also learned was that I had to pay myself first. So what I did was open up a investment um that allows me to put a set amount of money in that investment account every month. Every month, the same amount in that investment account. So I did a Roth IRA and I also opened up a mutual fund. And every month, the same amount goes to the Roth IRA, the same amount goes to that mutual fund. Those are high yield investments. All right. So a lot of people are like, well, I'm putting my money in the bank. That is good. I'm not bashing the banks, but your savings account interest rate is not very high when you put it in the bank. So if you put money in the bank, say, hey, yeah, I'm saving this money because next week I'm going on a trip and I want to put this money aside, that is fine. But when you're thinking about the future, the long run, you want to put money away, putting it in a savings account, it won't draw a high yield of interest. So if you put in a high yield savings or a high yield account, such as a money market, such as a mutual fund, where it draws more interest, because in a bank, 0.001% for most banks is the interest rate. Some banks are getting a little better with increasing the interest rate, but it still won't be as much, because what happens to money when you put it in the bank? Do you know? When you put your money in the bank, guess what that bank is doing? That bank is loaning your money out to other people with a higher interest, that they have to pay that money back, and they have to pay a lot more interest than what they're going to be giving you for putting your money in their bank account, in their banks. So the banks are making money off of your money. So if you putting $1,500, $2,000 in that bank account every week, every other week, once a month or whatever, in a savings account, guess what? They're taking that same amount of money and loaning it to somebody else, and that person may be paying back $3,000, $4,000 to $5,000, depending on their credit. And that's another segment. Depending on what that person's credit look like, they may be paying a higher interest rate in order to pay back that $2,000 that bank loaned them. Okay, so we got to be mindful of that. Think of things that you can take control of, and paying yourself first is one thing that you can control when it comes to your money. Put your money in an investment program. Put the same amount each month in an investment program. This is one of the ways that you can take control of your finances, and one way that you can have yourself on a path to financial independence. Signing out, I'm Anita Johnson.